All right, the B20B CRX, just giving it some love after some issues I'm having. Um, I just really wanted to banter on in front of a camera, make a little archive post for myself. A weird fly. Anyway, um, just kind of explaining what's been going on with the car, how it's been treating me. So yeah, overall the motor's been great. It's a B20B high compression motor. Uh, I love it. It does the job every single time. It's funny when I read the comments from Matt Farah's one take when he drove my CRX. Everyone was dogging on the B20, saying how it was a piece of shit and why would you choose it, blah blah blah. But I definitely feel like a lot of bench racers are posting in these comments because one thing people don't understand is that and I'm no racer myself. I'm probably a bench racer too, but when you're beating the piss out of these motors, you really don't want to spend $1,800 on a VTEC motor that you're gonna possibly blow up. It's definitely possible, especially when you're definitely new at this stuff. So, it makes economically more sense for the power and the torque that you receive. And the torque's good. I mean, that's what you want, right? I mean, when you're coming out of those corners on low RPM, you just kind of blast out of them. And paired with the LSD, the Integra LSD there, it's just makes for a nice combo, I think. So yeah, overall it's been perfect. I believe on the trans is about 1,800 miles on it so far. Not too many, because I bought it brand new. And the motor, who knows how many miles are on it, but who cares? I'll just get a new one when I need to. So yeah, right now working on the starter. Starter went out after about a year. It's always been giving me issues, but finally I just decided just to kick the can and call it a day. So yeah, right now I'm just taking a break. See that wrench in there? Could barely fit my hand to get the bottom bolt off, and it's over torqued too, because, well, I guess I screwed up big time when assembling it. So yeah, that's why I'm taking a break. Overall, it's been kind of finicky for these past 3 months, 4 months maybe. What's been going on is that I'll kind of start it and there'll be like a bit of a delay, maybe like a quarter, half a second, and then it'll start the car, which is definitely not normal, right? So I think there's a solenoid issue. Well, it's definitely a solenoid issue because I actually had my mom, she got in and started it, and I tapped on the solenoid while she was turning the key, and it cranked over, but it slowly cranked over. So it definitely got it spinning, but there's just not enough power being supplied to the actual starter motor itself. And you also hear that standard clicking noise that everyone hears when their starter's bad. So yeah, it's no problem. Just got to replace it, and I'll probably open it up and show it on camera, see if we can see any corrosion, because I definitely think it's a corrosion issue. And that's because when I originally got the motor and transmission, which is the B16 at the time, I never actually got an Integra Type R originally. But anyway, the starter never actually turned over when I first dropped the motor in and did a test run. It just didn't work, so I did the old trick of hitting it with a hammer, as I did today. And yeah, it actually got it going for about a year. So it's been working ever since, but yeah, as I said, it's finally done. So I think what happens is that, when you have these imported parts coming from Japan, they sit for a while. They sit in these containers or whatever, they just sit. And in my case, I clearly had some corrosion, because why would a good starter just not work all of a sudden? And you can see with the intake manifold how corroded it is. It's all spotty, and it doesn't look good at all. So that's just from oxygen in the air, and whatever else is in the air. Salt, which is definitely the case for Japan, and that's why all the cars rust out. So, the air probably just kind of seized it up, and yeah, what can I say? I definitely noticed that a lot of these Japanese import parts have this surface corrosion on it, and it's not necessarily an issue. I mean, obviously an intake manifold is just a bunch of tubing essentially that lets air in, so who cares? You just gotta clean it up a little. The actual motor, I believe you can kind of see it actually. Let me show you. There's a little bit of corrosion on there too. You can see it right around here. And yeah, that's the same case. And the starter actually has some of that too, but I can't really get a good shot of that, but whatever. It's just the way it goes. Nothing. I mean, if you want, you could redo it, but what's the point? This is not a show car, so it's all right. Yeah, I'll probably open up the starter, show it on camera, and you'll kind of see what the issue is. So wish me luck getting this bottom bolt off, because I fucked it up. And yeah, so. Well, I have good news. I took apart or I didn't take it apart. I just took off the starter, got that bottom bolt out, and the top one off. This one was just the pain one, this long one here. The reason why it was difficult is because these are tension bolts that when you apply a load on it, they twist, and you know, it's just they can really get torqued down there over time. So anyway, just getting the starter out. Gonna see if I have enough room here. Let's see. Oh, there it is. Okay. So it's actually kind of heavy, but it makes sense. They're all full of copper. Yeah, this is a manual starter, of course, for the, I don't know what it comes off of, but I'm gonna replace it with the 2000 CRV one. You know, what's also really interesting is that this post here, which receives power, was also very loose when I originally got the starter. Oh, looks like we have some Torx heads on that, so I could definitely take it off, but I bet you it's going to be a pain in the ass, so we'll give it a shot. Anyway, let's see here. Anyway, took off the back plate here with these 3 bolts. There they are. And used this T20 Torx bit, which was very easy to do. These bolts are really loose, which kind of makes me nervous because maybe it was tampered with before. I don't know. It really doesn't matter at this point. But one little cool thing is that if you push on this plunger right here, you can see the gear that goes to the flywheel comes out. So that's kind of how that works. Kind of learned something there. And now I can finally see how these solenoids work. So what happens is that power goes in through this connection. And so when this gets pushed down, it makes a connection through these 2 feet. So if I pull this out here, you can see, drop the spring, there we go. This foot and this foot basically touch this little copper washer here, and you know, so when this gets pushed down all the way, it makes that connection, so that power gets transferred to the motor through this connection here. Yeah, basically I'm just looking to see if these 2 feet have corrosion, and they don't look too bad, which is I guess a good sign, but you know, what can I say? There's some weird, looks like this bright copper kind of a residue on this end, which is kind of making me nervous. And it's very rough too, which I don't think is really normal for an electronic connection as well. But yeah, the reason why I'm taking this apart, because sometimes I heard that you'll have like, you know, literal like oxidation on it, which could definitely cause a bad connection, or one foot is higher than the other, so like it'll only touch one side of this washer and kind of like make a poor connection to this side, and you know, just make like a arc essentially, which doesn't really do much for you, and yeah, that could cause issues too. So anyway, I'm just gonna get a new one. I'm not gonna bother messing with this. There's no point. What can I say? Hey, if you're watching this all the way, what is this gonna be, 7 minutes or 8 minutes now? I appreciate it. I mean, this is just mainly for me, but hey, if you wanna go for a ride with me, no problem. I'm probably gonna make more videos just for the sake of myself, and you know, I'll probably start attaching my GoPro to the car after I get a mount made. I'll be 3D printing that, which would be kind of cool, and you know, maybe we'll get some action on the track soon. Maybe in January, since I don't think I'm gonna be going the 16th anymore, since I gotta mess with this stuff now. So yeah. Anyway, have a nice day. Thanks for watching.